Thank you very much. My name is Ahmed Usman Khalid Imam Zakaria from Nima. And I think...
from where? Nima?
Nima. I think when I was schooling at Nima 2 Primary, those days I was told that Dr. Mensa Otabil used to be, an ardent believer in Nima. I don't know how true it is. Then later I got to know that his church, ICGC, started at Kanda, one of the clusters of schools.
Yeah. I used to live in Nima, yes.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So, I'm proud of you, sir. Yes, I am a Muslim and a practicing Muslim. And I think, let me confess here, when I got here, I saw leadership. I saw leadership from Bishop Gideon. Yes, as a Muslim, seriously, I was a bit flabbergasted and I was amazed that we have leaders. So, Bishop, keep the good works. Let me also say something to correlate to what Pastor Mensa Otabil is just sharing with us. There's a verse in the Holy Quran which goes like this. It's the opening of the Holy Quran. We call it Surah Al-Fatiha. It says, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise and thanks be to Allah, the Lord of the universe. Ya Allah, you alone worship. You alone we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those on whom you bestowed your grace, not the path of those who have gone astray. I can say confidently, from what I've seen and what I'm hearing and what I'm learning as a Muslim, there's a huge correlation between the teachings in Christendom and the teachings in Islam. At the end of the day, is the impartation and also those who are ready to serve and work. Reverend, on daily basis, one of your sayings that has also captivated me today in all humility, I'm a PhD candidate in law, is the saying that no matter what prison you are in, nobody can prison the power of what? Imagination. I tried to locate you at Kanda because I was told there's a family house there. On several occasions, I never met you. So when I saw the advert that today you appear here, I pray that God, don't kill me till I meet this man. Hello? Hello? And I think God has answered my prayers. And I'm meeting you. Even though I met your youngest brother, who was my senior in St. Thomas Aquinas, but he couldn't in any way interpret that statement that no matter what prison you are in, nobody can imprison the power of imagination. I thought that I was able to somehow expectate myself, and today I read political science. Later I went to read law. I did my LLM. Today I'm pursuing my PhD in law. I don't know. From what I've gathered and the sober reflection I had, I thought you're saying, look at what the verse I quoted from the Old Quran really motivated me. Since you're here today, Pastor Dr. Mensa Otabil, Chancellor, Central University, leader, ICGC, please interpret this for me. Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Otabil was the president of the Republic of Nima. When he left, he became the president.
Well, you know, there was a Jewish philosopher, Viktor Frankl, who was imprisoned during the Second World War. During Nazi occupation, and he was in the concentration camps, and he says they were mistreated, naked, treated like animals. But in his prison, no matter how they treated them naked, beating them up, treating them just like subhumans, he would be in his prison and he would be able to think about life outside his prison. And and actually enjoy a new life, enjoy himself playing piano, imagine himself attending a concert, imagine himself sitting at a buffet, and he would be happy in the prison just by imagining that. And in that process, he discovered that the last freedom a man has is the freedom to imagine. And that is where that phrase came from, that no matter the prison you find yourself in, nobody can imprison the power of your imagination. And that's a very important thing, because everything we do starts with imagination. That means I am poor, I can imagine myself rich. I am illiterate, I can imagine myself educated. I can imagine myself doing well. I can imagine life beyond a tragedy, life beyond pain. The greatest, the most painful statement you can hear anybody make is when they say, I can't imagine. Have you some people say, I can't imagine being happy again. I can't imagine ever coming out of this situation. I can't imagine ever overcoming this problem. I can't imagine I will ever marry. I can't imagine I will ever. Once you can't imagine it, you have stopped life. Because wherever you are, you should be able to imagine something better than that. You should be able to imagine that. And no matter the difficulty, you should be able to imagine it. It is out of the imagination that you get motivation. And out of the motivation, you take action. The actions may not be big actions. It may be small actions. It may be tiny actions. It may be, maybe you are 30 years old, but you never went to school. But you imagine yourself as a lawyer, as our dear brother said, and you're 30. But once you can imagine, you can take the first step. You can start going to primary school at 30. And of course, it takes you 6 years in primary school. By 36, you finish primary school. You go to JHS, 3 years. 39, you finish JHS. You go to SHS. 42, you finish SHS. You go to university. 46, you go to law school. 2 years after that, 48, you are a lawyer. And it started from 30. Once you can imagine it, there is a path. There is a path. And the steps may be baby steps. It may be tiny steps. It's not a big, giant leap. It's just something small you do at the beginning, and then you keep adding to it. So the worst thing you can say to yourself is, I can't imagine. You have to imagine it, because that is how the progress starts. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.